These are a bunch of the Funko plushies, specifically the Five Nights at Freddy's Series 1 and a handful from Series 2. The main question might be, why the hell have you just dropped plushies on me? Did you not just do this with your Funko Pop video? Yes, I did. Doesn't mean I can't do it again. What are you, the YouTube police? Yeah. Anyways, if you couldn't tell, get by the very obvious intro, today's video will be on the first and a handful of the second wave Five Nights at Freddy's plushies made by Funko. These were some of the more important pieces of merch that came out around the time, as they were cheaper than Sanchi, which were around 30, I believe, maybe even 60-ish, maybe. They were very, very cheap, very affordable. Mine are the original from 2016. All of mine are, I believe, which is, most of these I owned. The FNAF one, so Freddy, Bonnie, Chica, Foxy, and Funtime Foxy were all mine from 2016. Is it 2016 or 2017, these plushies? I think it's 17. Alright, so I got the plushies in 2017. Got you. I think they were some of the last merch I got anyway. They were the part of the 4 more important pieces of Funko's merch. The most important being, obviously, the action figures, followed arguably by the plushies, carried by the mystery minis, which this spot could also go to the Five Nights at Freddy's Funko Pops that are released around this time. And I only say that because at the time, the mystery minis were very stylized and less accurate even than some of the later waves, which shows in some of the older minis. As you can see, with Chica has bird feathers, which obviously isn't accurate to the games, but nevertheless, today's video is not on the mystery minis at all. It is on the Funko plushies. So let's stop delaying it and let's begin. Starting with Freddy Fazbear. For I think it was about 10 British pounds. I don't know how many dollars it was. It's about $12, I think. Not sure, but for £10, I'd definitely say this plushie is a great representation of what we see in the games. He is very accurate to the style we actually see in Scott's games. He's got a bow tie that is a different fabric, which is really nice to see. It has some embroidered freckles on there, which is, I believe that's embroidered. They could also just be sewn on, but I do believe it's embroidered. His nose, obviously, used to have been really shiny, but mine's all scratched up from when I used to play with them. He's got actual stitching, no printed on colour anywhere on this plush, which is really nice to see. Funko will lose that into the later lines. Do a little bit of felt for the eyebrows, which I think this was always an issue with the Funko plushies that no one was really a fan of, was the felt eyebrows, and yet they continued for way longer than they should have, because nobody liked them. Maybe one person, but not that many. Not to mention, they really screwed up with the big plush, who won't fit on my desk, but he will be getting shown off later, probably last. But yeah, obviously you can see as well, his top hat is the same material as his thing. However, this is his bow tie. This here is hat, the little, I don't know if you'll be able to see. The camera isn't the best, but you can see how that was very prone to coming apart. He was and still is. Now, I'm going to move on to Bonnie, who, again, for the price, is incredibly accurate to the games. Sanchi was obviously the more accurate one, but can't really blame Funko when they have to make cheap and affordable merch over expensive and more collector item merch. But yeah, so there is the classic Bonnie. He does normally have a cotton tail, but as you can see, mine has fallen off. Very sad. I need to buy like a pom-pom or something and sew it on, or just buy a replacement Bonnie. But yeah. His bow tie as well is the same material as Freddy's. Similar design, but if you look really closely, it is different and actually larger than Freddy's. Which is really nice, because Funko could have just used the same one. Same thing with his nose, where it probably could be shinier. His eyes are literally identical to Freddy's, just pink rather than blue. And his ears, they don't fit in frame, but they actually have what I believe is like a little wooden bit in them, or like a little, I think it's card or something, so that the ears can actually stand and they won't fall over time. But I think it also allows for you to pose them in quite a nice way, but it doesn't actually really matter. But as it is, these are very accurate. They are segmented, sewn in, as you can see, very similar to Freddy. And I'd have to say I've got less to say about this than Freddy, which is funny, to be honest, because you'd think you could say a lot more about Bonnie, but because he's a plushie, he doesn't have his guitar, you know, he doesn't have like a mouth, it's all closed. But as I say, very accurate for what it was. Watch out, move young children away from the screen, please. This may terrify them. The Chica plushie. Do you know what? I'm just gonna let you guys look at it for a second. Had a look? Good. Good. I'm glad that you had like a nice little long stare with her. She's hideous. The bib, questionable, but it looks alright. Notice the lack of cupcake, but could be explained for the lower price. The beak is very low quality, but to be fair, can't blame Funko. There was not much they could have really done there, so I'm gonna say that that's a good looking beak. I'd say though, these are fine as well. They are felt, which could have been avoided, but whatever. Let's just cover the eyebrows up. Suddenly this plush looks 10 times better. See the point I'm making? The point I'm making is these eyebrows were stupid choice. Because it looks hideous. And terrible. Like, look at it and tell me you think that looks nice. She also does have a bit of bib on the back. I just felt the need to, like, show the fact that they did put a bit of it on the back, which is nice. Still hideous though, so you don't know. Do you know what? She doesn't get to be. No, go sit at the. Chica doesn't get to be displayed with the others. Okay, fine. She can sit. She can sit there for now. Moving on to arguably one of the better ones. I'd definitely say one of the best Funko plushies. We have Foxy. Sorry, I've lost my words there. But anyway, Foxy here. You can see he's noticeably missing a hook and his metal feet, but I'm going to assume this is because in the game they've based it off the plushies rather than trying to make it more accurate as a plush. So, you know, it looks like he's only got one tuft, but he has got two tufts of fur. You can see the little curve there. His torso is quite literally just Freddy and Bonnie's, which is, again, accurate to the game. But his head, he has this, obviously, his snout, again, embroidered freckles that are different to Freddy's. He's got like a dog nose, which is a questionable choice, but at the same time, I think it looks alright. Two little felt teeth here, one's golden, which is a nice detail. He has, obviously, his yellow eye, and then his eye patch, which I always thought was done a bit weird because there's no eye under there. But whatever. Felt eyes, or I think, yeah, felt eyebrows even, that don't look too good. He's got embroidered ears again with no printed on fabric, and these little hairs on top which look alright. Not the best, but definitely a really good plush. I'm really happy with how he looks. I think Funko did an amazing job. moving on to what was very much the oddball of the wave, which is Funtime Foxy here. Now you may be thinking, hang on, why the hell is Funtime Foxy here? Is this where the wave 2 starts? No, actually there was 2 FNAF 2 characters in the first wave. We got Toy Bonnie and Toy Chica later, but this is essentially fixed Mangle. It is the Foxy head mold with sewn on cheeks, proper eyes and no eyebrows, but white and pink and fluffy. And for some reason every single person I know who has one of these, the snout, oh my god, the snout, there's no fluff in it, like at all, none. It's just gone, it just left, just dipped. Also, mine came out looking really wonky, but I love her. I don't like how her eyes are so close together, and I don't like how she has these, but like no other character from the first wave does. Not even the other toy animatronic from the first wave, so she doesn't even fit in with the one that she's supposed to. But yeah, as I say, she's quite literally just pink Foxy, rosy cheeks, and eyes that are sewn into her head for some reason, because that makes sense. Because everyone knows that Mangle famously has her eyes that are right next to each other, and both of them are fixed and yellow, because everyone knows that about Mangle. She can sit there. Moving on to the final one from Wave 1, excluding the big guy who will be shown at the end, is Toy Freddy. I got this guy only I think a month or 2 ago now, for £5, shipping included. I paid less for him than I did for this. I paid £10 for this, I paid £5 for this. In the big year of 2025, 4? It was 2025 when I got him. Ignore me. So starting off, you may notice his colour scheme. It's very accurate to Help Wanted, but Help Wanted wasn't out at the time, so it's not accurate to his FNAF 2, which should have been the one they were trying to go towards too. I feel like the Nightmare plush that released in the next, and the Nightmare Freddy plush that released in the next wave would probably have been a better fit for his colours, but never mind. Toy Freddy, popping off. He's got his 2 buttons here, which is blaringly obvious. I just feel the need to point them out. He's got his little bow tie. He's got his freckles that again are embroidered, his embroidered cheeks, his little plastic button nose, same eyes as Freddy, maybe a little bit lighter, which is really nice. Same little fabric eyebrows, but on a different stitching pattern. His ears are just ever so slightly lower down than Freddy, and again, no printed on colour. And he's got the stripe on his hat, which is really nice. I thought Funko would miss that, but nope, because Funko loves stripes. So that's also taller than my Freddy, but that could just be my plushies. And here I've had to glue it back down because it did come up. You can see, that's what I mean with it, where it just splits open. It doesn't look good to it, so I had to glue it back down. But yeah, there is the Toy Freddy plush, who is my personal favourite from the wave because, well, it's Toy Freddy. I love Toy Freddy. He's my favourite character. Now let's move on to the second wave, and then we'll do the big guy. Next up is the cupcake. No, watch out, Toy Freddy. Yeah, the cupcake. So let me just move these guys out of the way to give the cupcake a bit of room. There's not really much to say. I believe this is 2016. It is. The eyes are actually, believe it or not, the eyes here are different to every other plush that we've seen so far. In the fact that they've got a bigger, is it the pupil? I believe it's the pupil. And the little eye shines on the pupil rather than kind of crossing between the two, as you can see on every other plush. I believe Toy Freddy's actually a bit different there to the others. He is, yeah. Oh, that's nice. Cupcake has 2 variating browns for the little cupcake base, which is really nice to see. They've got more of a beige and a darker brown. The pink that they used for the frosting is super nice. This is from the second wave, so if there's some differences, that will probably be why. Namely, this terrible, terrible feel that would haunt the security breach line oh so many years later. This same thing here would haunt the security breach line because it was every single plush and it felt horrific. Absolutely terrible. Also, that's that AR plushie for the candle, but I think it works and what it's trying to do. I will know as well, it's got a little thing on the base to keep it standing. Because that way it'd probably go like that. Or like that a lot. So, that's nice. And there is no plastic on this one, similar to Chica. So they can be together at last. Except this is Toy Cupcake. So no, they can't. But yeah, there is the Toy Cupcake from Five Nights at Freddy's 2. Moving on to a still Wave 2 character, but probably the most detailed one that is in this video. That is Springtrap. Springy, 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 spring, sprung, spring, ling, 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 long, Springtrap. That's Bluetooth. For the record, let me just get my light over here. You can see Springtrap. He has a Bluetooth. That's because the seller I bought him off had him with a Bluetooth, and there's not much I could really do. There's him in a full camera view because obviously he's got the long ears. His head shape isn't very accurate. I think we could have done better on that. I feel like this is a bit too far down. I feel like he just shouldn't have had the teeth shown at all. If anything, it would have made him look a bit better. Or if they wanted the teeth, just move them up a bit. Snout looks decent from the side. I like the wires, the fact that they aren't like stupid looking. They actually look really nice. Loads of embroidery and sewing going on with the different colours, and I think overall he looks really nice. He's got these, which makes sense for when he always looks at you in the game like that through the cameras. He obviously has different eyes. However, they are still the incorrect colour. They should be like dark grey, white, black, if anything, to try and replicate the Phantom eyes. But that's obviously not what they're doing. More the wires, loads of sewing and embroidery, and the ears are just like Bonnie's, except in the way where they've got the thing, except this ear here does not have the piece of card. It is just left to stand up by itself. It's got the two little black wire as well as a red one. Red wire on his head. Embroidered little endoskeleton there with the gap. And again, I believe there's a 2017, isn't it? Yeah, that's when that wave came out. So 2017, Springtrap, beautiful, 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 beautiful boy. But yeah, moving on now, we're going to go to the big guy. It's going to be a bit difficult to get into frame, but that's fine. Let's move on to him. Right, here is the big one. Let's just move this stand out of the way because I don't think we'll be needing that. He is absolutely huge to the point where he doesn't even fit slightly in frame. So here is, I believe he's 16 inch or 20 inch. I don't know. There's American, UK, it's different. So the jumbo Freddy Fazbear plush. He is absolutely huge. I have to go all the way back here just to get him in frame. Almost showing off the entire Funko Pop wall and the U2s on top of it, which is kind of crazy. But as you can see, he's a super, super nice plush. Not much to say other than he is a jumbo version of the Freddy plush, and as a result, takes the same properties from that plushie, including the fabric nose. Excluding the fabric nose, because that was only shared with Springtrap. I did think I forgot to mention that, but that's fine. Yeah, so the big plushies always have fabric noses, except the newer ones. I believe that all the newer ones don't have fabric noses, but all the originals did. But yeah, as I say, it is just an upscaled Freddy. Let me turn him around here, see what the tag says. 2017. All right. And then they've obviously got the hat, which is the same material, but I don't see it praying anywhere, and I don't think it's often that you say praying on the big one, but there he is. And yeah, he is absolutely humongous. I mean, look at him compared to my hand. My hand just about covers his chest. Look at him to the nose. But yeah, that is the Jumbo Freddy Fazbear plushie, as well as the rest of the first wave and the Toy Freddy plushie. Let's look at my shelves, by the way. These are new. Do you know what? Yeah, go on. Might as well put them back. Might as well put them back over here. Look at this. Look, these are beautiful. Beautiful, I know. Believe me when I say I know they're beautiful. What I'm gonna do is I'm gonna go ahead and run back up there with people. As you can see, do you know what? Actually, I need to tilt his head again. Every time. There you go. There is some other plushies that will probably get reviewed one day as well. But yes, moving back over to my desk over here, I just want to say thank you guys so much for watching. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit the bell in case you ever don't want to miss an upload from me. And I hope I will see you again some other time in some other video. Bye!